So what are your boots? Like what are the ways that you think people can be prepared for
Yeah,
those negative emotions so that they don't just, push them down and but maybe and then think about them 10 years later and write a book.
yeah,
Yes.
right,
Like,
right,
how
right.
can they
But I'm
how can
still
they
grappling with
prepare?
them. It's still that didn't solve my problem. Um, yeah. Well, one of them is to use values affirmation. So this is, I think of this as like an emotional booster shot. So there's research on values affirmation. It takes people who are in situations where they're going to have highs and lows. Like for example, first year students at university. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows,
Mhm.
and invites them to reflect upon the values that are most important to them. So maybe it's like friends or family or whatever it is they pick, versus a control condition that does some writing exercise but isn't about these values that are most important to them. And one of the things they notice is by asking, in this case, the students to periodically, every couple of months, engage in this kind of values affirmation exercise, they see signs of more resilience and better performance over time. And the notion is that there's this like emotional booster shot that you're giving yourself that allows you to sort of push through the highs and lows, particularly the lows. So the way I think of it here in terms of seeing the problem and then dressing for the weather is, what are the values that are most important to you in terms of your emotional relationship with your country, in terms of what you value
Mhm.
about your country, and to kind of continually hold those top of mind in a way that will allow us, even if we have to dip into some of the not so great stuff, we're able to dig into it and still come back to, and this is what I value so much about my country.
And I think part of that is the building piece, right? Like
Mhm.
understanding that you're not just looking back and thinking about the negative aspects, but you're doing it kind of in service of making it even better.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
talk a lot about grit in the book and, like the idea of passion, which I love, and adding, the passion and the perseverance together and not mistaking passion for perfection, right? If you're passionate about
Yeah,
something, it doesn't mean that it's perfect the way it is, right? We still have
right.
to do work on it.
Yeah,
How do
exactly.
you
Not falling for the
go ahead.
Instagram version of things, right? Like the Instagram version of something means there's like, in some people's Instagram feeds, everything just looks perfect all the time. Not mine, but a lot of people's. Um, and that's sort of like the passion without the perseverance, and the goal. The definition of grit is passion and perseverance in pursuit of a meaningful long-term goal. So it's like you said, bringing both of those together. And so I talk about gritty patriotism, or being a
Mhm.
gritty patriot, as someone who can love their country, but at the same time, see it fully, the good and the bad.
Mhm. What do you think about people who kind of resist doing that because the current situation is really great for them, right? And the
Mm,
way that inequality kind of falls gives them some benefits.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a reality that we two things are simultaneously true. I think there's research that says that we don't, as human beings, like inequity and unfairness. We're willing to have a little bit more, like to have, inequities that benefit us a little bit, but
Mhm.
we don't like a sense that it's unearned. And we will look for ways to justify that little bit of advantage we have as earned. Um, and it's also true that, the endowment effect is real, and we all like to have what we have and don't want to give things up. I think, I'll be honest, I think where my work is most helpful is for people who are grappling with this, even if they've just teeny bit grappling with it, but that are
Mhm.
willing to grapple a little bit,
Yep.
as opposed to folks who are just like, not my problem, not interested. I'm not sure that, I don't know, maybe my work offers them a starting point and meets them where they are, but it's probably not going to be the thing that's like, the eye opener that I should just stop being completely invested in my own, what I have, and not worry about what other people don't. So I realize that maybe that's a little bit of a dismissal of the question, but I think that's a reality based view of kind of what my stuff has to offer. It's for the many people who are trying to figure this out, it offers tools.